Well, hello, Ashley. How y'all doing tonight? Hey, John. Is this mic of mine doing all right? Do what? Hmm. No, it's only Texans. Uh-oh. That burn, DJ. Short and quick, aren't you? Hello, Jessica. I think that's all the tip has got. Yeah, I was wondering how Mike was doing too. Well, what's everybody gonna do this weekend? It's gonna be cold here in Texas. I bet you DJ's laughing at us thinking it's cold when it's 40 degrees. Yeah, supposed to be a bad one tomorrow. Tomorrow night anyway. I'm glad it's you and not me, Sean. I think that smells real pretty when it's falling, but as soon as it hits the ground, I don't want no more of it. Yeah, we sure are glad Mike's doing good. DJ, what you been up to lately? I ain't talked to you in a long time. Hmm. You haven't posted anything in a pretty good while, have you, DJ? You think I ought to get a couple of tubes of silicone and carry out the quartzite with me? I'm gonna have to look and see if I got any old saws around here. Make make Paula a care package. I appreciate it, Mr. Kenny. How you doing tonight? Kenny, what are you up to tonight? Yeah, not real good, Ashley. I keep hoping I'm gonna get to go to court fight. She didn't. They put her in the hospital today. I don't know. Gonna have to write it out for a few more days and see how she does. You got to take care of business first. So it's just one of them deals. It's probably my dog. Might have to do that. For that dog to be so little, he can snore louder. I appreciate it, Ashley. Well, she got a lot of problems. She didn't need this COVID. You know, crazy deal. I'm scared to get away too far unless she straightens up some. And but you can't go see her or you can't do anything. Anybody want to come up? Come on. DJ, I think Paula's having a ball. She got a grin on from ear to ear every time you see her. The only thing that's going to be wrong with Paula, DJ, and she wait and see what I tell you. She's got to doing this. Got a taste of it now, and pretty soon that's all she's going to want to do. That traveling getting your blood. You either love it or hate it. Yeah, I know. I'm just talking about what she wants to do, not what she can do. Hello, Janice. How you doing, gal? I got started traveling about 15 years ago, and I can't imagine living in a house anymore. DJ makes me feel good. He said it's 0 up there. He thinks we've got a heat wave down here. Well, apparently she got a really pretty fair job up there. She talks about the retirement, but more and more stuff I think is going to go to remote and the internet. I tell you, the one bad thing about the internet, Amazon been doing it forever, but these other stores, when they closed down and they were just doing the internet sales, they found out they can do that a hell of a lot cheaper than they can keep that big store open. Yeah, I've been trying to talk DJ into just coming up on live with me. Maybe I'll talk him into it one of these days. Amy, Amy may whip both of us if we got up here and got to cutting up. Oh, that wind is already blowing down here. I can feel it cool coming through the floor on this travel trailer. Temp dropping pretty good. Well, it was good news about Nate's vehicle being all right. Just a drain plug fell out of it. That was a good thing you shut it off like you did. Yeah, it sure was. What time is it there, DJ? Yeah, you ought to be. I got a big pecan tree right outside my trailer, and it sounds like it's hailing in stupid pecan. Yeah, tell you what, I took a little road trip a while back and decided I wasn't going to take a camper or anything with me and stayed in a hotel. That was a sticker shock. Boy, things got expensive. You just got half your weekend gone, haven't you? Central Time. Okay, that's what I thought. Same time zone as me. Yeah, it was just a oil plug had fell out of it. Just dropped all the oil out. They put a new oil plug in it and changed the oil on it. Yeah, he's gonna be back on the road tomorrow, the next day. Well, I wish they quit changing down here these days. It's a mess. I wonder whose brilliant idea that was. Yeah, he lucked out on that one. They've changed the oil so much now that you can just about run out of oil. Used to, they'd just fry mode, but now it'll run for a few miles before you really hurt it. Well, Sean, that's what they call a van in Australia. A van is a trailer in Australia. Yeah, that's one of them language deals right there. Boy, here come that wind. It's gonna rock me to sleep in this trailer tonight. I don't know. You have to ask Janice that. What is a van called over there? Hello, Miss Amy. How you doing? Well, you could run him some parts over. Marathon probably not, but what, 300 miles from you? Dang. Well, have any of y'all got any fantastic plans for this weekend? All right. Did you make up? Is it still going to be around 12 noon, Ashley? You got to go back to work tomorrow, Amy? Yeah, it really is. It's like here in Texas, we call a cattle ranch a ranch, and over there they call them a station. I had to get used to that when I was down there. Mm, You want to come on up a little bit? Hello, Jason Merrick. Long one. You know, I say that used to 70 hours was about a normal week for me. And now 70 hours would probably kill me. What do you do for a living, Jason American? Yeah, that hectare, they don't hardly use that in the state. About the only time you'll see that is on titles and that kind of stuff. Well, there's some big national forests in the United States. I used to hunt in Colorado just about every year. Just that one national forest I hunted in, like 2.5 million acres. Tennessee. Do y'all sell gas down there by the gallon or by the liter, like they do in Canada? Yeah, okay. Texas used to have a lot of huge ranches. All over the last few years, well, those things have got split up. I guess more people, and you don't have the real big, you know, 300,000, 400,000 acre ranches. You got a few of them left. 100 on a king ranch here. I don't know, 15 years ago probably. And just that one pasture I was hunting in was 40,000 acres. Heck, you, man, dog. Well, I've been messing around tonight. I decided I wanted some fresh bread, so I made a couple loaves of fresh bread, one French bread and one regular. And I'd have something to munch on tomorrow anyway. Yeah, we've had several bad fires up in here. All of it within a year. Normally, it'll be green, and it just takes a while for the trees. But we've got some trees over here that won't ever sprout unless they get caught in a forest fire. Well, I never had either till I brought that little bread machine, and there's a reason for that too. When we got hemmed up that week or two when that weather got so bad this year, I had everything I needed to stay warm and had the food. But after about a week, I started running out of bread. Hmm, this really got bad. I eat a lot of bread, and I'm thinking something that I can make it if I want to. I got started. I bought one of them little bread machines, and there ain't nothing to that deal. You just throw the ingredients in there and turn it on. I think one of the worst fires in Texas is up there in Amy part of the country, right around Amarillo up there. Boy, they had a huge fire that one time. Y'all had some bad fires over there. Well, people are moving more into uninhabited areas here in the states anyway. And then there's a lot of states that won't let you clear any kind of natural vegetation away from your house or anything. In other words, you can't clear brush or trees or anything. And then when they get a fire, they wonder why they can't put it out because it gets in that underbrush and it goes crazy. Yeah, up there at Amarillo, where Amy is, they killed a jillion cattle up there because they got caught in them fires and it burned their hooves up. They just walking around on stumps. And went in there and shot them cattle about 1,000. Uh oh.
Well, hello there, Dad. How you doing?
Hello, Tim.
Good to see you, Dad.
There you go. Hell, we're talking about hot stuff in here tonight.
Well, it can't be hotter than a two billy goat.
You trying to talk Copy Gina now? Three-peckered billy goat.
Yeah, that's one, man. Yep. You know that. Yeah.
Oh, we was talking about them fires over in Australia. Well, that thing was huge.
Well, shoot. You should see the fires that happen here in California. And now we
I
got
know.
mudslides.
Hey,
And we got mudslides because of that, because it's coming down off the mountains.
what the hell is a mudslide?
A
I've read about it, but I've never seen one.
So what happens is, so let's say you got all of these trees going up a mountain or up a steep hill. They're all burned out. There's no vegetation there now. So when it rains, all that water comes down and instantly becomes mud and runs down the hill into whatever's below, and it will wash you out real quick because there's no undergrowth. There's no leaves. It's mud because the fire took all of the landscape away, exposed all the mud, and then when the rain comes, it just goes straight downhill, and you're talking instant mudslide. It picks up. It starts off small. It'll pick up small trees, bigger trees, and then just wipe out houses.
But we get that here. We get these fires, and you got some pretty good sized little old mountains in Texas that they're not real big, like 7,000, 8,000 feet. But get some dirt is just different or something. We don't ever have that here. It can come a flood, and you don't get that.
Yeah, it's not good here in the mountainous area of California because there's a lot of towns that are in the mountains and below in the valleys. But when that rain, if it was nothing but a fire that went through a valley from both sides, it's going to rain and it's going to collect mud and just wash everything out below.
Isn't that wild?
Like what happened in the national park about last year. You
Well,
guys
no, it's
remember that,
happening.
right?
John, it's happening now here in California. Southern California had a road washed out by a mudslide, and it brought a bunch of huge rocks, like rocks the size of cars, coming down the mountain and closed off the road, which means they
Didn't
have
it
to
block off Highway 1? Didn't y'all have an avalanche or mudslide or something that blocked it off?
Oh yeah, no, it totally washed out the road. It took the road with it down into the ocean. So they actually had to rebuild Route 1 along the coast near, I believe it was Big Sur. And
yeah,
it was shut down for months.
Yeah, and I had a friend of mine that
Big
was
Sur is
picking up.
completely cut off
Oh,
then. So Big Sur is completely cut off then.
It was there for a couple of months, and I think it's open now. Because this was, well, that was like 6 to 8 months ago when they had a rock slide that knocked out one.
Yeah, they get a lot of those in that area, though, because all the fires and then everything's burned to a crisp, and there's nothing left.
Yep.
one of my buddies, or two of them, were on. Hold up, John. Hold up, John. I said, one of my buddies or two of my buddies were on a motorcycle trip when that thing happened, and they had come in at 3 quartzite on 10, and then were going up to Oregon. And they were running one, and they missed that mudslide a day, I think.
Ooh, yep.
And they had to run, I don't know, I think they told me 200 or 300 miles to get around it.
That is true, because if you're on one, there are only certain mountain passes to come east to get to I-5. And that means if the road was shut off, and if you're going north, let's just say you're going north, the road was closed, you have to backtrack, go south to find a road that goes east to Highway 5, and then run up Highway 5 to get back through a road that goes through the mountains to get back to 1 if you need to get back to 1. So you're talking a major detour, because there is not many roads that go east and west from Highway 1 to Highway 5.
Whoa.
In California.
I've driven 1 and I've driven 5 both. And that Highway 1 is sort of a spooky little road in places.
Especially if you're in a Class C, or if you're pulling a fifth wheel or a trailer, because you have hairpin turns. And that's the freakiest thing with me. And I've lived here in California 20 years. Even in my 4Runner, coming around a freaking corner, a blind corner on the outside edge where the passenger side just drops off 1,000 feet and there's no guardrail, but you got the inner person coming towards you, and if they cross that white line, they can smash into you and push you off the edge down into a 1,000-foot ravine. Without a doubt. It's scary. I go around corners very slow, hairpin corners up in the mountains, especially when it's 2-lane. And there are also dirt roads that you get on that can barely fit 2 vehicles coming either or direction.
I got caught in Colorado, and they had them logging trucks running.
Yep. log truck runs. Yep.
Boy,
The
that
roads.
get hairy on them hairpin turns.
Matter of fact, I had a logging
One
truck
time
coming.
about doing something with those passes to make them bigger.
No, John, there's not enough hillside to make a road bigger on some of these fire roads that Ron D and I are talking about. And what I was about to say, there was a logging truck coming down a fire road trail, and I was in a Pontiac G6 going off road, getting up to a campsite, and that trucker stopped because he's coming downhill. He has to stop and allow traffic to come up, but he stopped at a corner point where I literally pulled in my rearview mirror or my side mirror on the driver's side and hugged his truck because I didn't want to go down 1,000 foot. And it's scary. But you gotta be safe, and you gotta take it slow. And just keep your eye on the truck and freaking maneuver around it. And you want to talk about my hands just sweated. And I'm like, I seen the truck and I'm like, what is he doing? He should have stopped before the corner, but no, he stopped at the corner, which cut off my access point going around.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know how it is in California, but out there in Colorado, them logging trucks fly down them roads. I mean, they've got them wound up. Hello, Victoria. How you doing tonight?
Yes, they do. Hello, Victoria.
Hey, Victoria.
I see a troll. Oh. Sean has took care of it, and I'm reporting. Okay, I just reported the troll, so we're good.
I blocked him a while ago.
Thank you, Sean S, for blocking.
Yeah, on Makeup Mom and Dying Tonight, Kenny was up there. He was whacking trolls like crazy.
Well, it's the weekend, so it can happen.
Since the first of the year, we've been having a lot of trolls lately.
Oh, really?
Yes. I noticed it since New Year's Eve, okay? New Year's Eve and on, I've been noticing we've been getting more troll activity. You know what? Like the more people are sitting around at home, more people are out trolling the internet.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I must have hit it just right because the first broadcast I made, well, I had trolls coming in. I've had them every time I've been in here, you know.
Well, that means you're popular there.
Now, you know what it is? What we need to do is we need to set up like a police force, you know? Actually,
well, that's why we have moderators.
Oh, we got plenty.
Moderators do.
But we got plenty of moderators in here.
Yeah, because I saw when I was in the chat, you had like 4 or 5 of them in there right away.
Yeah, they do a real good job.
They're trolls because they come up, they don't show their picture usually. They start acting weird.
Usually, you can just tell by the way it's written. You don't have to give them a chance to even do any of that. Well, I may not get to go to court tonight, Tim.
What's going on?
They put my sister in the hospital, and she's not in good shape. So I don't know. I may have to hang around here.
Okay, well, you got to take care of family. You know how that is.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's all the family I got left.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's really it.
Hey,
well, I should have figured that out, Ron, because you're my dad, and I
well, are you trying to say I'm an old fart?
I forgot I had it.
Oh Lord.
Ron, it's always family first. You know that. You take care of family first.
Now, I don't know about a rock star voice, Victoria. I sound like a damn bull. Sound like a bullfrog with chapped lips to me.
Well, didn't you all know this is my dad over here, Ron D? Yep, that's my dad. He's good folk.
Just think he gonna get as ugly as me when he gets older.
Oh shit. What?
No.
Oh, I said the S word. That's okay.
That's all.
Oh,
we not
you
not
two are
monetized, and so we don't worry about it too much.
Yeah, John, didn't you know that's my dad? Didn't you know that's my dad right there?
I know it. Ron told me one time.
Come on, we're all camouflaged.
Hey, we all watch out for each other, you know? I can tell you got his ears. And you got his eyes too. I can tell Ron is your father.
Damn, I must have had a ugly wife.
Man, your mother must have fell in love with him for must have fell in love with him and didn't care. It's an honor.
It sort of made me mad. I've got my travel trailer, Tim, and you ever see these rigs they build in the back of pickups with just a topper on it? I started.
You talking the flat stack one?
No, the one that's got the regular fiberglass topper, and they were going in and rig everything up. Well, I started rigging my pickup up like that just because I had that 2,500 miles to run instead of my cab over. And I was sort of looking forward to that because it was set up with a little bathroom and a pretty good chair on it and a good bed in it, you know.
Yeah.
I may use that thing a little bit. It'd be so much cheaper than running something that's blocking a ton of air.
Yeah. How long is the trailer?
Oh, my trailer is 32 foot, but this is just back of a pickup, you know. Now, I've got a cab over camper that I'm building. I'm just about half through with. I'll have it.
Ooh. Okay.
Something he builds.
That's what you're saying.
No, cab over camper.
He don't buy it. He looks at it. He goes, oh, he pulls out a plan like this and he starts building.
There you go.
I'm not jealous. I love that in a brother, you know, who can just pick up a pair of plans and go to work, you know. Okay, this is what I'm building this week.
That's all I did here. And in my life, I was a troubleshooter, so that's sort of what I did. But no, I'm talking about the slide-in camper that just sits in the back of a pickup bed. You know, it goes up over the cab.
Yeah.
Now my travel trailer is a bumper pull. It's not a fifth wheel.
Yeah, and then do you have the V steering stabilizer bars?
Oh yeah,
attached to it.
I put a trailer a many a mile when I was delivering them RVs. I had to have all that junk, you know.
But, yeah, you definitely need those the extra steering stabilizer bars.
Yeah, sway bar.
Yeah, because if you have to do one jerk or another because of some vehicle in front of you, if you don't have them, your trailer is going to get squirrely real quick.
Well, and the best thing that I did, I think one reason I had as good luck pulling them trailers is I'd roll them trailer brakes up where they hit a hell of a lot faster than your truck brakes did. And that way you can straighten the trailer up pretty quick. You know,
so what you're saying is you move the trailer brake to hard instead of soft.
So then,
Yep.
then your trailer will catch first, and then you
Yes.
really got to step down on it. Well, then your pickup picks it up. But you can stop that sway pretty good with if you're working brakes, because them electric brakes, all you got to do is just let your foot on the brake. You ain't got to mash it. You got them turned up.
Exactly. Yep.
Have you ever been from Flagstaff down to Phoenix on that?
When I came across through the Four Corners, I don't remember the route, but I did not hit Phoenix. I have been in Phoenix and Chandler for work. I've flown in there, and from Phoenix Airport to Chandler, we've taken a car ride. So I have been on the highways, and they just got popped up mountains here and there along the highway. So what are you entailing? Because I have been on the highways, but not in my Class C RV.
When you leave Flagstaff going back down, I think it's 17. They've got them 10, 12,000 foot passes, and some of the longest passes I've ever seen, like the downgrade side, might be 20 miles long.
Okay.
And so you're working on them things pretty heavy. And I got through there, and they had a place you could pull off at the top of that first pass and check your brake. And I was pulling a 37-foot fifth wheel, and big old Montana with 3 or 4 slides on a heavy trailer. I pull up on top of that mountain and pull off on that brake check spot and checked, and I didn't have a sign of brakes on that trailer. Something had shorted out inside the trailer and just killed the electric brake. I didn't have anything.
Ooh, coming down that pass?
Yeah. Well, there were several of them like that. I called the main office and I said, look, I'm sitting on top of pass up here. What the hell you want me to do? And I said, well, can you bring it in? I said, yeah. But I'm going to say this. If I bring this thing on in instead of y'all sending the record or something out, y'all going to be liable for it. You're going to be liable for my truck and the trailer both. And they sort of stumbled around about that. And I told them, I said, well, I just unhook the trailer here and y'all send the record.
Yep.
But anyway, they told me to go ahead. They gave me the okay. And I drove, I think, about 100 miles back through them mountains
without the brakes.
Without the brakes and all them passes and stuff. I was sure glad I had that Dodge truck of mine had a standard transmission in it. That was the only thing it saved me.
Okay.
That was a hell.
So you didn't have engine brake on your.
No, it hadn't. It was a 204. It didn't have an engine brake on it.
Okay.
Ooh, that means you had no Jake brake.
Well, that is engine brake.
Yeah, that's Jake brake. We call that a Jake brake.
Jake brake, engine brake. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Don't mind me. I just when you was talking, I'm just going. Wait a minute. That means he had no Jake brake, and that means, technically speaking, he was doing it on a wing and a prayer. Lord, let me down this path, please.
The engine brake / Jake brake uses your engine RPMs to slow you down with the transmission.
Yes.
And I have a feature on my RV, which is tow mode. It downshifts the transmission or upshifts the transmission, depending on if I'm going uphill or downhill. Will lower the RPM to slow it down. So in my Chevy 4500 cab over, it's a 2019 Chevy 4500 series. for my Class C RV, but it also has a 6-speed Allison transmission. That thing is freaking golden.
You got the 16
because
alley. You got the
all I got to
16
do is
alley.
just hit the manual to go down, and literally, whoa, and it just slows the RV. But I have been down to Jackson Hole, Ron D.
Yeah.
I've been down one hill, 10% grade, down into Jackson Hole, and actually pulled off because I thought I smelled engine brake.
Well, the way I
And I stayed for about 20 minutes. I stayed for about 20 minutes because I thought I smelled engine brake. I don't know if it was another vehicle in front of me or mine or someone coming up the hill, which wouldn't have engine brake, but maybe they were smoking their transmission or their clutch getting up the hill. But I pulled over. I was like, no, I ain't messing around.
Well, the way I did that with a standard transmission, I made the motor. I was using the motor for a brake because like speed limit was 65. Well, I'd take and get on them brakes pretty hard and drop it down to about 40, and then just pull the clutch out. And when it got wrapped up to where it was at 65 again and turn it about 3,000 RPMs, well, I'd hit the brakes again and drop it back down to 40. And just yo-yoed coming down that mountain, you know. And there's one pass up there that got 20% grade.
The biggest one I've been on is 10%, and that's pretty gnarly. And if you're in a freaking truck, semi truck on a 20% grade, good luck, buddy. 10%, even 10% there.
The what you call it? The backup drivers get on your knees and start doing the Hail Mary.
I'll tell you what, I've seen them trucks come off there. I had one run up behind me on a pass one day and just laying down on that horn, and he done lost his brakes. And coming down, and I got over as far as I could, and he blew by me, probably running 80, 85, and hit one of those run out on the side of the mountain, you know, where they got all the sand and stuff in it.
Yep.
He kept it from turning over. I stopped and made sure he's all right. But I think it's like $15,000 if you have to use one of them things for them to come back. Yeah. If that trucker gets charged for it, they got to come back in there and smooth all that dirt out. And I think it's $15,000.
So what happens if a car happens to use that because they are idiots and they didn't know anything and they're losing their brakes and they run off into one of those, do they get charged the same?
You know, I don't know. I imagine they just pull the car out, you know. But I know, of course, they rough on trucks. I mean, they charge so much stuff on trucks it ain't. And so it just, I don't think they'd charge it for it. They might do it. You know, they got some of them mountain states have got some weird ass damn laws now.
Yep.
That's like coming through Wyoming. Even if you're not running and it's 80 degrees outside, you better have a set of chains in that truck. You're going to get a damn ticket if you don't have. You'd be right in the middle of summertime. And of course, you don't ever know out there. I was going to Billings, Montana one time. And it was pretty, you know, it was 60 degrees out, sun shining. And I hit a damn snowstorm, and it was July the 4th. And it was nearly a whiteout for about 50 miles. It was snow stacked up, you know, and then run back out in the sunshine. And you don't never know what that weather's going to do up there.
Yep, the mountains have their own microclimates, is what they call it. It can snow,
Yes.
it can rain, it can hail, and it can be sunny within 4 freaking hours or less.
I've seen that before.
Yep.
I heard about that. So they actually do have microclimates.
Oh
So
yeah.
Any
when you're
mountain,
going up a mountain, you could actually hit a snowstorm.
any
So
mountain
when I
has
saw coming down
microclimates.
from Eric Nomad Fanatic about 2 weeks ago, he was driving through an area and he hits a snowstorm going through.
Well, this time of year, that's not that unusual, but
That's usual.
but
We're
what he
talking we're talking
And
like
within
Ron
1
was
mile,
talking
it
in
was
the
like
middle of
there's nothing there. Within 1 mile, it was like there was nothing there. It looked like he went through like this, and you see the storm, and you see all the snow on the ground. Then 1 mile later, you see nothing at all.
Well, John, that's because you go up in elevation and there's precipitation.
And
So
then,
when you go up in higher elevation, it's going to snow here. It's going to rain down here. So you got to climb the mountain, crest over, and come back down. So at the very top, it's snowing. It's rain on one side. Coming up, it's rain. But microclimates are different, especially in the summertime. When you're up in the mountains, going up and down, you got microclimates. It could be very windy at 30 or at 10,000 feet, and the road is like 6,000 feet. But once you get up near that mountain and you're coming back down, and if it's windy up there, it could be snowing up there or it could be hailing. But once you come back down in the middle of July, it's called a microclimate. It can do anything at once.
I was hunting in Colorado up on top of them mountains, and I was on a
it
four-wheeler.
would be like playing a submarine, basically.
Hold up, John. And I was on a four-wheeler, and me and my wife, and I ran back in the mountain like 38 miles back in there. We were hunting and just riding and looking more than anything else. And a damn rainstorm came in, and it just dumped. And then it started hailing, and it started snowing, and it dropped from about 60 degrees to 28 degrees in 25 minutes.
Whoa.
Yes.
And I had to drive that four-wheeler back at 38 miles, 28 degrees and soaking wet. And, that was not a good run.
Yeah, that's a microclimate.
Oh, whoa. So that means you got to be prepared to do, if you're in an RV, you got to be planning for everything, basically.
Well, in anything, you don't have to be an RV. And most of the time, you're not going to have an RV back up on those dirt roads,
No, you're talking a 4x4 truck or SUV.
Hello, Miss B. How you doing tonight, darling?
Hey, it's me. Pinch my
Call me
cheeks.
V from the Canada. Call me V.
Pinch
Yeah.
my cheeks.
Hey V.
Pinch
Love
them.
you.
No, don't pinch these. Don't pinch these cheeks. Pinch these cheeks.
No pinching cheeks, please. My grandmother used to do that to me.
Oh, John, we gotta pinch your cheeks, John.
Ouch. Well,
I
what
got
about
it.
she was Italian? Italian grandmothers and Hungarian grandmothers. Oh God, they're cheek pinchers. I walked in the house in my dad's house one time. It was Christmas, the day before Christmas. Grandma
I'm gonna
was up,
step down for a few minutes here.
Sounded like I was being tortured.
I'll step
with
down here for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay, damn.
So what's been going on with you, my brother?
Well, it just, you talking about pinching somebody's cheek. Say, when I was a kid, I was about 5, 6 years old. I had an aunt that every time she come in the house, she'd just pinch your damn cheeks and just shake you. And she did that to me 3 or 4 times. And she come in there one day and reached up and started getting me by the cheeks like that. And I reached up and got me a handful of cheeks on both sides and went to shaking her. And I broke her the habit of doing that to me. Boy, it used to make
Well,
me.
Grandma Olga was one of them folks. Okay, when you came in for Christmas Eve, before we would go out to church, it was family welcoming time. She would welcome everybody, and because usually the kids would stay, from my dad's, me and I would stay over, okay, for Christmas Eve. My dad's brother's kids would stay over, and he had 8 of them. Okay, so the house was basically full of kids. Plus, you had Peter and his wife who were staying out in the truck.
Hello,
So,
Michael Ann.
how is she doing?
Hey, oh, goodness. Yeah, you go to showing them cheeks, you might get in trouble. Or it might get interesting. Might get interesting one. Boy, that wind is blowing.
So basically, you got microclimates and everything else that you got to watch out for going around those passes.
Well, really, your mountain country is the worst.
Got to ask you a question. When you're in a Class C RV, do you think people should keep chains with them just in case?
A lot of states you've got to have them. It's a law.
So you're suggesting that I should put chains aboard. I should have a bag with chains aboard.
Yeah, you can keep them. Might not never use them. I carried a set when I was pulling them RVs for 4 years and never put them on one time. If it got bad enough to need them chains, I'd get off the road. It just wasn't working. But if you live someplace and had to go to work 5 miles away or something like that, I could see running chains. Chains tear a lot of crap up now. You wear them chains in 2 and that thing will stretch out and go to flapping. And when it does, it's going to tear some stuff up.
Yeah. Did you hear they got these new plastic ones now that you could put on?
It's the same thing.
They still will do the same damage as the actual chain?
Yeah, you ever see a travel trailer that just had a blowout, the cap come off? It tear the whole half the side off the trailer, and that's a rubber tire.
Whoa. Yeah.
I think that's about what it is here, Peace Dragon. They was talking about 25 to 30 miles an hour, up to 40 mile an hour gusts. Maybe a rock and roll night.
Just be careful out there, okay? If you're in your trailer, okay?
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. People get jacked up about these trailers and motorhomes and stuff, and I pulled them a lot of miles. What they don't realize is if you get caught in high winds and it's really bad, you just take and point that truck into the wind. I mean, what's the difference in having 75 mile an hour wind, which is a hurricane, and running down the road 75 miles an hour? Same difference. So the only time you got to really worry about a wind is if it's a crosswind or something surprises. But if you can point the nose of that truck in that wind, you ride 100 mile an hour wind out. Huh. They got to be built for that, or you couldn't pull them down the highway.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them, don't they test those things anyway?
Nah. put them things together and put them out on the lot and write a number on the front of them, and then people like I was doing go in there and pick that trailer up and sign the paperwork on it and take off and haul it wherever they're going. I've had the whole top blow off trailers. I had a whole side come loose one day. You know, just that was back right after Katrina, and they were shipping all them. What the hell they call them trailers?
All right, I'm back.
Nice to
Hey,
see you back again. You had to go to the necessary room, my bro.
Well, that and, Duke's water was out, so I had to refill his bowl, and I went and smoked a cigarette.
Okay, took some necessary time. Take care of your four-legged friend.
Yep. So I've been on Interstate 80, going east, just out of Pittsburgh. I was in the Navy, so I was stationed in Philadelphia. So from Philadelphia to Toledo, Ohio, is 550 miles. I
Whoa.
left the Navy base on a Friday, left, and it would take me about 8 hours or less to get from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Toledo, Ohio in about 8 hours or less. I left Sunday, and my dad was like, "Hey, there's a major storm going through the Pennsylvania mountains. You better get up early and get up out of here and head back to Philadelphia." Well, I left Ohio, no problem. It about 3 hours or less going across Interstate 80. Once I hit Pittsburgh, just outside of Pittsburgh, going up into the Blue Mountains of Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania, guess what? It took me a total of 16 hours, which included the 3 hours from Ohio. Went through a freaking blizzard. They closed Interstate 80. I was still on. I crossed over and I was still on Interstate 80. Never knew it was closed. The snow was so thick coming down. I was grabbing my windshield wipers and slapping them against the window as it came to the driver's side window. And I was driving in 1.5 foot ruts in the right lane. And I stopped off every time my gas tank came to half. And when I got out, I looked at the front of my headlights and I had cones of ice and snow where the headlight just barely shined through. I knocked that off. I cleaned my windshield off. I filled up the tank and kept going. I got stuck behind a snowplow there for a while, which was cool. That was 2 hours behind a snowplow, but that was awesome because I'm only creeping around at 20 miles per hour. Didn't have to worry about anything, but I swear to God, once the snow trucks left, there was a semi that was sitting there doing one of these squirrely numbers right next to my vehicle. I was in the right lane. He came into the left lane where the snow no one went through the snow, and the back of his trailer was doing this. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I cannot jump out of my ruts or I'm going to lose freaking control. And I was in a front wheel drive 1987 Cutlass Calais. Front wheel drive. I was plowing snow I was literally plowing snow at times. It was sitting there coming up this way. But when that semi freaking was sitting there doing one of these numbers with his back trailer, I'm like, oh, this is not good. You know what? That semi rig was up off the road about 10 miles ahead of me. And I just laughed. I'm like, see you, buddy. But
I made
yeah,
it.
his back end was sliding like crazy. And I was in a blizzard going through the Pennsylvania mountains, the what they call the Appalachians and the Blue Ridge section, which is really bad. If anyone's familiar with Pennsylvania, they definitely know.
I got out one time and hauling a trailer to Las Vegas. And we got out there and I had, well, really it was Carson outside Las Vegas where we were living. And we got in there, it was snowing. We got there and it was so bad they wouldn't even inspect the trailer. Snowing so bad. And I think Donner Pass, they said it had 20 foot of snow at the top of Donner Pass. That it was the heaviest in like 50 years.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we got the trailers loaded, and that another storm was coming in. I told that buddy of mine, he was in another truck, and I said, "Come on, we're gonna get the hell out of here, or if we get snowed in, we'll have to be here a week." So we took off. So the way it is in coming out of there, you probably been through there. There'll be gullies coming down off the side of the mountain, and they put little short bridges across them. Well, that wind was blowing so hard, it was blowing up them gullies, and that snow was blowing 50 foot up in the air. And on each end, every bridge had a snowbank in it that would be 3 or 4 feet tall. So far, we'd following each other, you know, and we'd bust through them snowbanks, slow down and bust through them slow.
Up over the Donner Pass?
No, we weren't going to Donner. We were going the other way then.
Oh, the other way. So you were going out near Reno in Fallon?
Yeah, I think so. I don't even remember the name of the highway. I think we were going back, headed back sort of towards Salt Lake.
If you were on 80, that came out of Donner into Reno into Fallon,
yeah,
and then up into Utah.
We were running about 60 miles an hour, I guess, and the snow had slacked off just a little bit. And I looked up, and there was a damn snowbank across the end of one of them bridges. It must have been 10 foot tall. Just a complete bridge block, you know. And there wasn't no way you could slam on the brakes and stop. And I grabbed the radio and hollered at a buddy of mine, just hollered left lane. And somebody had hit it and knocked it down just a little bit. I pulled that truck over in that left lane, and boy, I blew snow for 30 minutes, seemed like. He came through behind me, and there was one little car following us. I don't know what the hell happened yet. He may still be in that snowbank. Never did see him again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that little car that was in the slow lane during the blizzard on Interstate 80, getting back to the Navy base, that was me, but I made it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
The little car got right behind us and was following us, you know. And of course, we had duals on the back end of them trucks, so we were knocking a lot of snow down. And
yeah,
and plus, them Dodge pickups, they didn't set all that high, so they were knocking the top of that snow down too, you know. It looking like an outboard motorboat going through the water with spray on both sides. You're coming up, you know.
That's so you want to talk a foot deep of snow, if not more, with a front wheel drive vehicle. The snow was coming out from my tires going this way, and I was plowing with my front bumper, stuck in those ruts that the trucks were going through, but there was not that much traffic except for truckers And people that didn't know, the interstate was closed for small cars. I made it. I'll tell you what, a front wheel drive vehicle, no snow chains, in foot deep snow, you can do it. I did it. Shoot, for at least freaking 13 hours.
Boy,
It was crazy.
did you know the most nerve-wracking trip I've ever taken though was in Texas? And I started out in El Paso when I was going to Beaumont, which is like 900 miles. But I got on the road and I wasn't on the road 15 minutes. That fog rolled in, and you couldn't hardly see the hood on the damn truck. And I drove 500 miles in that damn fog like that. Man, and when I finally just pulled it off, and I thought my eyes were gonna look out of my head.
You don't mess with fog. If you cannot see 5 feet in front of your vehicle, get the hell off the road. There was me coming from Adrian, Michigan, which is about an hour drive on backcountry roads to Toledo, because I was working for my mom and dad at a mall, and there was a whiteout with snow, and the only line that I could see, I couldn't see the slashes on the driver's side, but I could see the solid white line every now and then with my headlight on the passenger side. I drove by that, and literally I was doing like 15, 20 miles per hour. But if there was someone right in front of me just parked on the road, 15 miles an hour, I still would have hit them. And that took me like 2 hours to get home. Oh, actually, no, I think it was about 3.
Sometimes good Lord just takes care of you.
Yeah, but the snow was coming across. The snow was coming across like this across your headlights, in front of your windshield. It was like Star Trek, like this, but going this way. I'm like, slow down. Slow is better. And I won't end up in the ditch, because on the backcountry roads, they go down into 10-foot ditches for their runoff for the fields, and the fields are like 10 feet deep below the road.
Hello, so Jessica.
You don't want to go off road with that.
We come through New Mexico one day, and it's funny how things work out. I had a tire that went down, got flat. Well, there was a little old bitty town up ahead of me, and I'd aired that tire once, and I decided I wasn't going to change that tire. I was going to let somebody else. We started getting close to that town, and you couldn't look. It was in New Mexico, and I think he was on 40, I think. But we looked up, man, there was a dark blue cloud, like a blue north up ahead of us. We could tell we was fixing to hit something. Well, I pulled off and bought a tire and had them mounted on that truck. And my wife got on a CB and was just listening to it. Well, that dart that we saw was a sandstorm. And 28 people got killed in that thing.
Did you say sand?
Yeah, the sandstorm.
So do they call that a derecho, or was it a derecho or another term I'm thinking of? For the sandstorms.
I don't know what just sandstorms. All I've heard them called, but that wind was boiling, and that sand was probably, I'm gonna say, 200 or 300 feet up in the air. And like I said, we were parked, and somebody had one of those car carriers, and they run in that sandstorm. And when they did, they locked that truck down. It just stopped because they couldn't see. Cars were running into that sandstorm, and they were hitting the back of that car carrier and just going airborne. And like I say, 28 people got killed right there. If I hadn't stopped and fixed that tire, I'd have been right in the middle of it. You don't
Yeah.
ever know.
Yeah, there's a certain term for those sandstorms. It's not a
Called
derecho.
Dust devil.
No, it's not a dust devil. It's there's another term for it. And Arizona, New Mexico, and I think Texas or parts of Texas are notorious for that during the summertime. Correct, Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I tell you what, I've seen two of them. One of them was funny because I ran up on the roadside park right after we got into it, and I pulled off on the roadside park. And in a few minutes, here come a guy on a motorcycle, and he pulled off. And that man was just sandblasted. And he sat down behind there's one.
Yeah.
He sat down behind that motorcycle, and I finally I finally backed up and hollered at him. I said, "Man, either get in that truck or get on the other side of this truck where it's breaking sand up." He crawled up in the truck and sat there in that truck while that sandstorm blew out. But I've seen some of those sands, not that I was in, but I've seen what they do. And I've seen cars that have one side completely sandblasted that with a drop of paint on. And that stuff is bad.
Yeah. Actually, sandstorms will mess up your vehicle too, your paint job.
Yeah. And it take all the paint off, just like a sandblaster. And it'll even get a windshield. It'll fit a windshield.
Yep.
I tell you what, I drove into crazy weather. I've just been lucky. I never have wrecked anything.
Oh, that's it. They're called haboobs. Sean S got it. Haboobs. That was what I was thinking of.
That's the way you talk about Dolly Parton, isn't it?
No, that's her boobs.
That's what I said.
Not her boobs. That they're funny.
Oh, me.
Wait, where the heck is Kenny? Wait, Kenny? Kenny got him? Wait, where is Kenny?
He said he was on his phone.
Oh, is he moderating behind the scenes and we don't see him?
He's got the big hammer out. He's killing trolls.
Oh, he did. Ford, aka Kenneth, hit him, but I reported the guy, so that's okay. It doesn't matter. Hey, Kenny. Hey. Hey, Kenny.
The other guy hits him. Pop. It's a team effort, you know.
That's
the hammer.
That's what it is. Someone pops them, someone punches them, and then someone takes them to jail.
Yep.
Hey, Kenny, did you hear me? I think you need more coffee.
He was in the wrong chat.
That's why there's always
it was in the wrong chat.
That's why there's always two cops in the police cruiser, you know. One's busy beating the dude to the ground, the other one's trying to get the cuffs on the dude.
So Jessica So Jessica's sitting there saying Nimrods. Nimrods in Texas, they're called a sandstorm. I've never heard of Nimrod as a sandstorm.
I never have heard of Nimrod or Haboob, either one.
Haboob is generally in Saudi Arabia, but they also call it the sandstorms of Arizona haboobs. And that's when they rise up to I think a haboob rises up to like 30,000 feet of sand, and that's the big storm that you just see a big wall that's like 30,000 feet in the air, and it just coats the whole city as it goes through.
That's the way it was in New Mexico.
And that's what they usually call a haboob.
I learned something already. I'm gonna be a smart ass old man.
Oh shit!
We're already teaching Ron Darrell tonight.
Wait, that's my dad.
He's supposed to know more than you.
Well, I'm learning a lot from my dad over here, but I can teach him one thing or another.
He's an elder. He knows more about stuff than you do.
I tell you what, if you get up in the morning and go to bed at night, you not pay attention.
Yeah, that's true. You need to put something on your you need to get yourself a picture or something, because all you guys, that big R up there, orange R.
Well, I know what it means.
We know it means Ron Darrell, but you know what I'm saying. You might want to get a picture of yourself or something like that.
There's another one.
There's another one. Get up. Squash him. Report. Bye-bye.
I'll be back in just a minute.
I reported them. Everybody else hides them.
That's how it's supposed to be. You report, they grab them when they drag him out back, and they beat him and they tie him down.
Kenny, you unhit him. Okay, thank you, Kenny. Kenny, whose live are you in right now? You need to be over here in this live. I know he's laughing at us.
He's got 4 machines, you know that, right? He's got 4 machines. This kid got 4 machines. He can be on 4 different lives. One day he was on one live. He hit five trolls at one time. 5 trolls with one hammer.
Yeah.
Yep. I believe it. 5 trolls, 1 hammer. Wow! 5 with 1 blow.
Well, it happens.
Yeah, those guys, man, they've been getting really saucy.
Well,
like ever since New Year's Eve, we've been getting a lot more troll activity, like crazy.
That's okay. That's why we have moderators to take care of it.
No, but it was quiet for like a couple of weeks, and then here come all the trolls. Where did all the trolls come back from to Trollville?
Yep.
They were all on Christmas vacation.
Yeah, we appreciate the raise.
Their families.
All I have to say is, George, being with you, I know you're watching. Get your ass up here in this live. Come on now. I got you on the phone. Get your ass up here in the live, George. You're not doing anything other than sitting at home. And I know it's cold up there. Come on.
Lean back, John.
Huh?
I said, lean back for just a minute. Are y'all getting any side noise in?
It's coming from John.
Hey,
There you
hold on.
So
it's-
John
We're
John
overheating.
is your microphone on your desk or your laptop?
No. It's on
What
my
is your
cell
microphone?
phone and-
You're doing cell phone.
Yes.
So something's wobbling with your cell phone doing something like this. Your cell phone's moving and creating a little shaky sound. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, hold on, guys. I'll see if I can switch it over to, because see, I do have another laptop.
It stops once he picked it up.
Yeah, that's because I have it on one of these. It's weird.
Yeah, that's true, Janice. Yeah. Hopefully that's in crypto, so
Yeah.
it will combine.
Oh Lord.
You seen that, Ron?
Yeah. And I wish the hell I could pay that. I mean, I have a lot more than that.
All right, guys, I'm gonna drop this baby down and try to get back on the other one, okay?
All right.
Now, this one's overheating at the back here, and that's another reason why it does that sometimes.
Well, as long as you're holding it, we don't hear that wobble noise. As far as I know.
Until it started warming up, though.
Okay.
Hello.
That.
Hello, Kathleen. Angie.
Hey, Kathleen.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go down and I'll see if I can get the other baby up and running, and I'll come back.
Okay.
Yeah, because then we won't have the wobbles.
Okay.
We will wobble and she won't fall down.
Yeah, it's totally gone now. But I think his cell phone was moving on a desk or something. Because once he puts it in his hand, it's gone. But hey, whatever.
Well, a lot of the time, John talks pretty loud, and he gets up close to that mic too, and it just picks up real well.
Well, he just talks too fucking loud. That's why.
But I'm not.
No, he gets up here like this, and he's like, "Hey, can you hear me now? Hey."
No, I'm not going to sit there and yell through the mic because I don't want to blow everyone's ears out.
And you can sure do that. I was talking to John the other day. I said, man, I don't know what kind of equipment he got or what kind of mic or anything. When he gets excited and starts leaning up toward that mic, well, that's when he starts loud.
Yeah, it gets very loud. Very loud. It's like, holy moly. It's like when he has the microphone boom, and he tries to pull it away. It's like, no, you need to turn down your mic volume in your settings way low.
I don't think he even knows he did that, Janet.
Yeah. Wait, did I drop an F-bomb?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. didn't even know I did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, you never missed a lick. I didn't figure you even thought about it.
No, I.
Listening to deep voices in the sleep. Well, just guess what? You get to listen to my voice and you're not going to go to sleep.
I think I got away with Lance the other day. I come in that room and I really dropped down and got low. And Lance ain't done that since then again.
Because you called him a girl?
No, this was I come in there and when he said something, dropping his voice down, well, I really dropped mine down, and I can get pretty damn low if I want to.
Yeah.
And I really dropped it down and put a little volume on it. And Lance ain't mocked my voice a bit since then. It was funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny watching Lance do it, and he's just like, yeah, right. Oh. And I'm just like, hey, we can get really deep here if you want, but you ain't got nothing on me, Lance.
Do what?
I just think it's funny. Everyone's like, yeah, it's Ron D. And then everyone like wants to do their low voice.
Yeah. I went in a room the other day and I didn't know a person in it. Somebody was in there doing it. Damn. That was hilarious. Y'all don't want to. I think I've told Jim, you don't want to get a low voice like I got one. I swallowed a pen when I was a kid and sucked it down in my lung. And they had to go in that lung and pull it out and tore my throat all to pieces. I've had a deep voice ever since.
Yeah. That definitely not a good scenario.
No, that's a hard way to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
I can drop a link again for Kenny here. I thought I dropped one. Maybe it didn't. Yeah.
So what's the temperature where you're at right now, Ron?
Oh, it's dropping right now. It was nice today. It was like 70s in the 70s today, But now it's supposed to get dropped down tonight. That front come in about 5 or 6 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, we're a little lower than that right now. It's not
42 and fog. Fog tomorrow. Fog Sunday. But there's the temperatures I got for the rest of the week for right now. Not too bad. Yeah, you just got to put a jacket on.
Yeah, it's supposed to. The wind chill here tomorrow is what's supposed to be bad. Temperature is not really going to be that bad, but with a 25 to 40 mile an hour wind, it's going to be cool. You going to run off and leave us, Victoria? Well, you have a good night, girl. I thought Kenny was going to come up.
Hi, Vicky. Well, Janice is actually in Australia, and it's only 76 there. And actually, that's during the day. Right now, I believe. So that's not bad at all, because they're supposed to be in their summer, high heat of summer, unless it's later on at night.
I'll try it now. I went back and got it again.
Kathleen, you're up in Washington, correct? I think she is.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, there's Kenny.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Oh my God, it's Kenny! I bow down to you, my Lord Kenny. You are my savior, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny.
Anyway, for some reason, when you put out the address for the link, it would not come up as a clickable link.
Well, I'll be down. Maybe I didn't copy all of it or something.
But anyway, yeah. So
What did you find out about the weather? Did you call today?
I have not called today. I'm waiting until tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but Sunday to call again. I'm wanting to that they told me to make sure that I call within 24 hours of my flight. So I will call him Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to find out if the flight is still happening. As of right now, it's still happening. Because I called him the other day. Because I called him and asked him to see if I would have to get a negative test done before I board the plane, and they said no. You just have to be sure to wear a mask. And I said okay. I said, and I said, well, I just didn't know with the CDC guidelines, why not? I want to make sure that I was following the guidelines and stuff. And so anyway, so they said you should be good to go. Just be sure to call within 24 hours of your flight time and see if it's still on. And yeah. I don't know what it's not, but I'm hoping, cross my fingers, it is.
Yeah. Either you call or you can do it on your phone too, but don't mess with the phone. Call them.
Yeah.
And are you going to be near the airport when you call?
Well, the idea is that if the flight is still on,
okay.
My plan is I'm gonna be taken to the airport. They're taken to the hotel near the airport tomorrow night. Get there around 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. Check-in time. Spend the night at the Holiday Inn at the airport, and then get up the next morning. Start heading toward the airport around 9-10 o'clock Monday morning, because my flight leaves at 1:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So they want me there a couple hours early. So I'll be there a couple hours early. And then I should, if the flight is still on, should board the plane at 1:09. Should land in Phoenix around 4:00.
So if you're leaving at 1 and you're calling at 10 o'clock in the morning, you should know if your flight is on time. And then you can also do the procedure to check in at 10 o'clock through the phone or online, and you should be good to go.
Well, I'll be going. Like I said, I'll be checking out the hotel Monday morning. The Charlotte Hotel,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, but if you call them early in the morning if you call them in the morning and say, "Hey, is my flight still on time?" They'll be like, "Yes." And then you can also do your online reservation check-in
okay.
at
Well,
that time. Did they give you emails for your online registration?
I've already paid for my flight and everything.
Yeah, but they give you they usually they send you a link for your plane flight. For the next day, they send you an email and it says, "Please check in now online," and you can check in online
Mm-hmm.
Less than 24 hours before your flight, and it'll have your reservations. So then you can print those out, or you can take a snapshot with your camera, and then you go up to a kiosk. Well, actually, you won't be going to a kiosk. You'll be having first class service because you'll be in your walker. They'll take you right up there and they'll check you in instantly, saying that you arrived.
Yeah, well, see, this is my very first flight ever, and so I'm kind of a little bit clueless
Okay,
as to
no,
what.
no problem.
So,
As long as you have your paper documents in hand and you show up to the airport, they will take care of you, and you will be pushed to the front of the line, and you'll be okay.
I've already requested. I made sure that I told them twice that I requested that I would need a wheelchair assistance to aboard the plane.
Yes.
I already requested that.
Yep. And you should not have any issue with that. You have your paper documents in hand. You're good to go. Once you get to the airport, they will usher you in quicker than anybody else standing in line.
And grease lightning, huh?
Grease lightning. Well, we hope. We hope. But yes.
But
Yep. Yeah. You should not have any issues.
okay. And
Yeah,
I'm doing it through American Airlines. Is what I'm flying by. American Airlines.
That's a good airlines. Delta, for my travels back and forth from the West Coast to the East Coast and Midwest to the East Coast, or vice versa, Delta is one of the best ones, but you pay a little more. American Airlines, I would say, would come in second. For the West Coast travelers, actually, no, I think they canceled that flight from California to Arizona. Southwest Airlines.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the top three that I like.
coming out of Texas, I've flown south west a lot.
Yep.
They were pretty good airline there for a while.
I've flown a lot of Southwest, yes.
That
Um,
that airport where Kenny's going, I used to fly out there quite often because I had a brother that lived in Phoenix. And then the guy that was the head of that airport in Phoenix, I went to high school with. And so anytime I wanted to come out there, he would make arrangements to get me out there.
no, right on. I've flown in. Shoot. For work, I've flown into Phoenix twice, but outside of work, I've flown into Phoenix probably, I don't know, maybe that many times. Don't care for Dallas. I've been to Dallas maybe once or twice.
DFW or Love?
Say again?
You fly into Dallas International, or did you find a Love field?
Dallas International. I've been there twice, maybe 3 times. And then a connecting flight to Detroit from there. DTW. Because Toledo, Ohio is 45 minutes away from Detroit International Airport. And it's more expensive for me to fly into Toledo Toledo Airport. And it costs more, and it's more to fly into Toledo. And Toledo is actually another 5 minutes longer to get there. It don't make sense.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
I got word. I had my own pilot's license and studying for not commercial, but instrument rating. And when I went in service, and I don't know, I just sort of lost it. I come back and bought a couple planes and messed around, and what I was wanting an airplane for, I had jobs going, several hundred miles away, and I thought, well, that'll be neat. I can crawl on an airplane and be out there, and save a lot of time. That don't work that way. You got to have somebody carry you to the airport.
Yeah.
Plane out. When you get into where you're going, you got to have somebody come pick you up. And then without an instrument rating, you liable to get hung if that thing overcast and locks in. You liable to sit there for a week. I don't know how many times I've rented a car and drove home and then have to get some way back out there to pick the plane up. I don't care too much about flying anymore.
Yeah. So, Kenny, you'll be good. You just have your documents with you, and they will definitely take care of you. Don't worry about it.
I have the American Airlines app on my phone, so I should be able to pull that up on there, shouldn't I?
You can pull up your flight itinerary. But they will not send you anything for checking in until 24 hours or less of you aborting your flight. You should expect an email or the app saying, hey, you can check in on your phone, and you can check in on your phone. And when you get to the airport, you show them your documents. And if you checked in on your phone, they'll also accommodate you
Okay.
They'll also accommodate you for what you need for the flight.
Okay, now let's see here. I'm gonna read this email here. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out what.
Delta's definitely good, but you pay the price, especially long travels. I'm just reading chats here, Kenny.
Yeah, I want to answer Kathleen's questioner. I will probably be eating a good meal before I leave that Monday morning, because I think because I know
Be right back.
I know my good friend storyteller Donnie Willer. He is the one that's offering to take me to the airport, and so I just have to furnish the meals and the gas for him taking me, which I'm already committed to doing that. So, uh, uh, so, but yeah, and I think he's planning on. I think he's planning on staying that Sunday night before. My flight. So
You won't have no trouble. You leave.
yeah.
What have you been up to today?
Oh, nothing much. Just went out and run some errands. And I actually had to go to the store today. Actually, my dad will probably be the one. My plan is that I'm planning on staying in the hotel again, the same hotel that I stay in on Sunday night. On the 25th for when I get back in, because I know it's going to be too dark. So my dad's probably planning on coming back and getting me that Thursday morning, probably, if the weather permitting.
I tell you what, you're gonna have a ball on that. Get to see your little desert, and
I hope my dad doesn't get lost coming down that way, because I'll have to figure out how to send him the information to because like I've said before, he's not that technically inclined. He said himself that he's told me many times back when he didn't know nothing about this technology, and the only thing he knows about is how to write programs. And there again, I'm talking stuff he did like over 40, 50 years ago. So
yeah,
I doubt seriously he probably never even how to write programs now. No, I'll be back. I'll be back Wednesday night around 5 o'clock. I'm supposed to land in Charlotte. My plane leaves at 11:09, so I'm supposed to land in Charlotte at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Yeah, I'll get to experience some desert and get to experience that dry heat.
yeah.
Which is different compared to what we have here, because we got humidity here, and
It just sort of depends in Texas on where you're at. Kathleen, do you remember Brandon got in all kind of trouble right before they went under? Their slogan was they had them They were the first one that really came out with the air stewardess. You had to be a knockout ran it. And they come up with a slogan, "We'll shake our tail for you." They called hell over that.
So, Kenny, whatever you do, don't eat foods that make you fart the next day on the airplane, because no one wants to smell them. I swear to God, I had probably the worst guy that freaking sat next to me. He was overweight, and I always pick the window, a window seat, so I can put my head against the window with a pillow that I have a horseshoe pillow that I put around my neck to help support my neck on the flight, and I can lean it against the glass. Oh my God, this guy was just so nasty. And then quite a few other people started like, this is just bad. And then the guy was like, "I'm gonna put my head on your shoulder." And I was like, boom, and I'm like, "No, you're not." What are you doing? I'm like, "Hey, no." The guy just looks at me like, "All right, then I'll go to the other side." The guy tried to lay his head on my freaking shoulder, and I'm like, "Who are you?"
Maybe he thought you were cute, Tim.
Right there, in between the lines.
Oh, goodness.
See, the thing is, I got my itinerary for where I booked the hotel through Priceline. I got that.
That's good.
For that.
Yep, that's good. I've used Priceline. I use Priceline all the time when I fly, and it gives you the best rates where you want to go.
Yeah. Well, next time I book a hotel for when I go to the meetup, whenever I get to go the next time. I don't know when that'll be, but I'm gonna try to book it early enough to where I can maybe book one that's not in Blythe, that's actually in Quartzsite, and I'm gonna try to book it like at the soup. But I was under the impression that there's only 2 hotels in the town, and that's Super 8 and Stagecoach. Is that right?
In Quartzsite?
Hotels in Quartzsite are far and few between. Yes.
Yeah. You go 20 miles away and go to Blythe or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's where the Travel Lodge Inn is at.
Is that where you're going to be in Blythe? That's
In
right.
Blythe.
You told me that other night.
Yeah. In Blythe, I'm going to be in Blythe. No, I won't be in a tent, Ashley, because due to my condition and things, it'd be better if I stayed in a hotel, so I'd have more room to be able to maneuver things and be able to have a little bit more privacy. Whereas out there in the desert,
Yeah.
and in a tent, you're not gonna have much privacy out there,
Yeah.
But now, if I had a van already built out and had my van going out there, then it wouldn't be so bad. But I don't have any way of. I'm on, like I said many times, I'm on to eventually take my 1985 Ford Econoline E150 that I have and build it out to a camper van, so that way, if I'm ever out somewhere and I want to go camping or whatnot, I can. But at the same time, too, I also want to be, even though I do like the older vehicles better than the ones being built today, because they're a lot easier and cheaper to work on, and don't have all the computer sensors and all that, and you don't have to take half the car apart just to get to it, and
Yep.
and I like to be very, very. I would only want to go like so many miles, stop, let that thing rest, and go again. And check the fluids each time I stop to make sure everything stays full, so that way I don't, so that nothing will happen. Won't lose all the oil or whatever. Be prepared for things like that. Because yeah,
Duke, gonna bring your toy?
yeah.
Nope. There, he brought me the toy. I'm not gonna sit there and show you a crotch shot.
But and I like the older ones because they're made out of cast iron too, and you ain't got no aluminum engines. And I've learned from self experience that aluminum engine does not take no heat.
Actually, aluminum engines have a melt factor less. They will melt quicker than steel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Whereas cast iron, it will take in more heat than that aluminum will.
Yeah, exactly.
I've learned from self experience that even before I even took auto mechanics, I had learned from self experience of what aluminum engine will do if you ever get an aluminum engine hot.
Yeah, it'll just shrink a blob.
Yep.
Well, and something else too on these vehicles. These vehicles now run so much hotter than they used to. Used to, if an engine got to 212, that was hot. Now they run them on up. What is it? For every pound of pressure, they can go another 6 or 7 degrees before water boil.
I don't remember, but
Something
I just know that my professor, even when I was in college, we got to talking about the difference between aluminum and a cast iron, and aluminum will melt. He was saying about one time you get an aluminum engine hot, you're pretty much done with that. And because it doesn't hold the heat. And
you wonder how them old Volkswagen engines held up like they did. They were all aluminum.
Yeah.
All of the cases were.
Yep.
Yeah.
I used to build a lot of dune buggies. Them things were fun to
Yeah.
overhaul one in 30 minutes. Just about not. That's a couple hours you can go in overhaul one.
But I'm not saying that you can still mess up a cast iron too, just as well as you can aluminum. But it take a lot more to mess up cast iron than it will aluminum. But you know,
Well, that man you're talking about, you build that thing out, you can be comfortable in it.
yeah. Well, like I said, I will have to do a video on what it looks like. As a matter of fact, I think Tim has showed some pictures of what one looks like of the outside. It's
Of what?
of a 1985 Ford Econoline van. You showed some pictures on a live stream one time.
The 85 O'Connell line?
Yeah,
No, that was Lance.
or somebody did. Somebody showed.
That was Lance.
Okay.
Lance did that. Yes. Either was, yeah, I believe it was Lance. Yep.
Okay.
And he found Lance found something very similar to what you had bought.
Like I said, it's got the front seat. It's got two front seats. It's got the driver's seat, and then it's got the passenger seat, and then it's got two more seats just like the front ones. One on this side and one on, and then it's got that big old long couch thing that looks like that you can fold it out into a bed. Like, I was told that those type of vans are actually called what they call conversion vans, is what they're called. There's something like that. And like I said, it's all original. It's got the 302 in it, which is a V8, small block V8. And it's got a automatic overdrive transmission.
Them are tough old buggies.
Yeah.
I know some people that's got a billion miles on them.
I don't remember how many miles this one's got, but I mean it even had the original. We had to change. The biggest thing we had to do was change the radiator and change the water pump. But because it still had the original copper radiator in it, and you can't find that copper no more.
No, that's hard to do.
And if you do find it, you're going to pay a fortune.
Yeah. They're not cheap, Kenny.
If you do find that copper, you're going to pay a fortune. Even that 76 GMC pickup truck, it still had the copper radiator in it too, until we had to change it out.
Really?
Yeah.
The 76?
A 76, yeah. It had the original copper. It had that 76 GMC Royal Sierra pickup truck I've been telling you all about.
Yeah.
It's got the 350 in it, and it's got the 4-barrel carburetor in it, and it's also got the 350 automatic transmission with turbo. Yeah, it had the original copper radiator in it. And what happened was it had gotten so old that it rusted the hole in the top of it. So I was losing all my coolant from the top of the radiator.
Don't lose it.
Well, anyway.
Sorry, talking to my dog.
Okay.
He likes to lose the ball underneath the couch, and then he makes me get the ball underneath the couch because he loses it.
Well, anyway, we had it all changed out. We had the water pump changed and the radiator changed all at the same time. But like I said, you can't find it. Yeah. So yeah, everything. When we first got the truck, it only had like 30-some thousand miles on it when we first got it.
Nice.
Now it's only got like last time I think I had it in the shop, I think it only had like 59,000 miles on it. So it hadn't even broke in good yet.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, it's funny. Now that copper radiator, you're talking about a hole in the tank. You could fix it.
Yeah, all you need to do is crack. All you need to do is crack an egg in it, and it'll seal up the holes. That's only temporary, though.
It also ate the bottom out of it as well. The bottom was out, so I just went ahead and changed it all. Had it all changed out. So, you know, I can't complain if that thing lasted that long. You know, you know, I mean, that's pretty doggone good.
Yep.
And that fab shop of mine, my dad had always had a radiator shop too. So we had a radiator shop in that thing. I built a mini, just order the core for it and take the tanks off the radiator and put the copper tank back on it, order it all back up, you know. But by the time I got out of it, I didn't like working. When I got out of it, well, a plastic tank coming out from aluminum radiator.
Yeah, but that's the only thing that's not original on that truck no more is the radiator. But everything else is all original. It's like I said the other day. Like I was telling people the other day, it's still got the original power steering pump that was put on when the truck was built, because I ain't never changed it. So, but I don't intend to ever change it unless I start having issues with it. So,
well, here's a good little story. I got a 2008 Toyota 4Runner 4x4.
Yeah.
I took it in to have my brakes done 3 years ago, and they noticed that there was a little drip coming out of the water pump seat pole. And the guy said, well, you don't want to take it on long distance trips and get stranded. It's going to cost you about $700. Well, I was about 70,000 miles on the engine. And between 70 to 100,000 miles, you're supposed to replace your timing chain or timing belt. I'm like, I'm not going to sit there and pay $700 to replace a water pump when all they got to do is take the plate off the back, replace the timing chain or the timing belt. So I'm going to wait. Well, it's been about 3 years yet. I still haven't blown my water pump. So I'm going to knock out my water pump, timing chain, belt or timing chain itself, and the thermostat in one shot. And it's probably only going to cost me an extra $200.
Yeah.
Because you have to take the water pump off to get to the panel. And once you take those bolts out, 12 bolts, you got your timing chain. It's going to cost me $20-$30 for a timing chain or a timing belt and a gasket. They put the belts back on, and then the $700 that they were going to charge me for labor to replace the water pump. Well, guess what? That's included in it. So it should only cost me less. It should only cost me less than $900 to replace all of it.
Yeah, you know, some people just don't have any idea how all that stuff works.
Can I say Nate from Loud Clan Adventures?
But you'd be surprised how many grown men don't know how to check the oil or anything.
Oh, I'm telling you.
I'm not knocking you, Nate, from Loud Land Cloud Adventures. Sorry. But you definitely knew you blew something. And thank God you pulled over to the road as soon as you did. And your engine light never freaking turned on, which is amazing. So you saved your engine.
Well, Ben, we know what's wrong with it now. That thump you heard was probably the drain plug hitting the ground and bouncing up and hitting the bottom of that vehicle. Well, it still had oil in it, and if he pulled it over there when that smoke come out, well, he still had plenty of oil in it when he pulled it off the side of the road.
Exactly. And here's I already commented on his video. Whoever changed his oil last is responsible for that oil plug, because an oil plug does not come out on its own. I don't care if you're 4x4ing and a rock hits it, your plug will not come out on its own.
That's what
They either did not tighten it properly, or they cross-threaded it and it was not tight, and it shot out and hit the ground, came back up, hit the underside of his belly, and started pouring oil out. And he is allowed to go back to that company and make a claim that you owe me for tow vehicle for both my trailer plus my vehicle, my my motel or hotel fees. That's what I was thinking, hotel. And whatever fees, he's allowed to make a claim with that last person that ever changed his oil, and they will pay it, because if he screwed up his engine, they would have to pay big bucks.
I'll tell you something else that they'll do on them plugs if you don't watch them. They don't use a wrench on doing those plugs. They use the impact on it. They'll run that thing up, and it's aluminum. And I know they're not supposed to, but they do.
No, you're gonna strip it out. You're gonna rip the threads.
That's what happened. I'll bet you money.
That's what I'm thinking. And he needs, if he has the receipt from the last place he changed his oil, he can put in a claim with that freaking oil place. They have to pay him for everything. If they deny him a claim and he has issues after engine issues after he got denied of a claim, he can then sue them for a brand new freaking engine.
There for a while, I was probably once every 3 or 4 weeks, I'd have somebody come in that the threads were stripped out in the pan, where they just got it too tight and stripped them.
And they have to rethread it for a bigger bolt.
Yeah, you gotta have it.
And they gotta flush your oil. After they rethread it for a bigger bolt, they gotta flush your oil out to make sure there's no shavings from the rethread, and then put your bigger bolt up in there. Yes.
We had a little tool that had a rubber boot on it that we could shove up in there and pull back down, and it would seal an area off about 1.5 inches around that plug, so where any shavings couldn't get back in the motor. And then we'd go through it and tap it, and then pull the tap out, then flush that little old boot out, and then pull the boot out, and there wouldn't be a bit of shavings left in the motor.
Yeah, that's a little hard trying to flush that little boot out, though.
Yeah, well, we were set up for it.
Okay.
And
I'm not going to get into that. I mean, that's more mechanical. I was a certified brake mechanic, and I've built 350 Chevy engines 1 from the block up and 2 from the heads up. Or the crankshaft or the camshaft up and heads. So
But
I used to be a pretty fair mechanic, but they've gone off and left me, man. All this electronic crap. You know, I'm lost on it anymore.
yes. You know what? If we get a solar flare, guess what? That 1932 freaking Model A or 1940 Chevy will still freaking boot up and
Right.
run, but everything else won't work if you get a solar flare because it knocks out all the electronics.
Right. You know,
Yep.
yeah, they can do that with a atomic bomb too. They put one up in the atmosphere and fire it off. What do they call it? EMP. I would love to, like that 76 Kenny's got. I had several service trucks that were 76. They were GMCs, 1 ton.
yeah, this
Oh,
was
I wish I had them things back. Standard transmission. And you couldn't wear them 350s out.
whoop.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I tell you what, folks, we done hit 15 after 2. It's about time to shut this thing down and call it a night, I think.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good.
but yeah, I
Up, troll.
already got it.
Hey, you behind on that one, Tim.
Well, I was actually typing. I was actually typing to Dragon, Peace Dragon. That's why I missed it.
I sure appreciate everybody coming in. And if somebody's not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. I'm gonna try to get them get on up to around 500 anyway. Just have to start working on it. Kenny, we always appreciate you being here, dude.
Well, all I can say
Yeah,
is everyone.
I enjoy being up here on the. Yeah, I just I look forward to getting to meet y'all in person one day, and
Well, I hope I get to come out there.
I heard that. I hope everything goes. Did you say it was your sister?
Yeah. Yeah, they put her in hospital today.
And she's not doing too good.
Yeah, now she got COVID, but this new strain of COVID is not near as bad. But she got Alzheimer's too, so
Oh,
she's got some problems.
that's not a good mixture then.
No,
Which reminds me, everybody that believes in prayer and things and things like that, everybody keep Griswold Benway Bakay in your prayers, because obviously the bug has hit his household, and so he's not going live tonight. He usually goes live. He usually goes live at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday nights. Well, the bug has hit his house, so just wanted to throw that out there. Prayers for the Griswold family, Bakay, and everybody that's dealing with all this sickness. So, all right.
see y'all later.
See you.
I
Thanks.
just want to say everybody have a good night, and yeah, Kenny, you need to get a little more coffee, and Dad, you had a great show here, there, buddy, bud.
Y'all have a good night, all of you. Good night.